We set out to discover India 50 years after its birth and 5,000 years after it is formed. An emotional year for all of us and a formative year for the future of India. We set out on a train that would take us from Mumbai in the west to Calcutta in the east, from Amritsar in the north to Hyderabad in the south, in search of a new India. When we conceived our journey, it was with a sense of being at the hinges of history. The 50th anniversary of this largest democracy of the world was approaching, and the millennium was not far behind. We took inspiration in the words of Kim Woo-chung, founder chairman of Daewoo Corporation. In every country's life, a generation has to sacrifice their lives so that coming generations can have a better one. If 30 years back it was his generation in Korea, we believe it is ours in India. However, to create that energy, we need to formulate a mission. In creating a mission, in discovering its future, we had to involve the young of India, for they will live that future. If we take them on an adventure, they will see beyond their immediate surroundings and think of India in a different light. What better way than to do so on a train, an entire train? They are 16 to 21-year-olds and come from diverse lands. From Brown University in the US, Cambridge and London School of Economics in the UK, and from different parts of India. A young journalist from Manipur in the east, a blind student from Madhya Pradesh in the center, a group of students from Tamil Nadu in the south. Around half the participants are women, representing a new India, where women play an equal role in its progress. They all come from different backgrounds, classes and creeds, but they all have one thing in common: a desire to contribute to a better future. Our journey starts in Mumbai on Christmas Eve. The platform lights up like a Christmas tree. At midnight on the 24th of December 1997, our train slips out of Mumbai station to the singing of Christmas carols. Our first stop is Sabarmati Ashram, Ahmedabad, home to Mahatma Gandhi. The Mahatma has passed a legacy that is a shining example of modern Indian thought. In some sense, his legacy must remain intact, and in some sense, we must grow beyond it. If he said cottage industries, we must now explore agro-based industries. If he said truth and honesty, we must take it to a higher level. To follow his principles without taking them forward would be a disservice to this forward-looking sage. The afternoon is spent at the Space Application Center at Ahmedabad. Are we capable of making that huge leap of imagination and technology that will take us onto Mars and beyond? In this last great adventure available to humankind, is there a role for India? From a space center to the real space of India, a village. The train comes out of the mist to Tilonia station, a small village in Rajasthan. We are here on a pilgrimage. This village has inspired thousands of others to seek solutions to problems in rural India. A smile here and a laugh there. Suddenly, the topic turns to progress. We thought we had come here to teach these simple people. Instead, we are humbled by their wisdom. The learning for us has begun. In Jaipur, the Maharaja himself comes out to greet us. His ancestors had built the observatory in the 18th century. This monument explodes the myth that as a nation we have always been mystical. At a certain time, there was a balance in science and spirituality. We need to revive that balance in the India of today. Amritsar, the Golden Temple, and its afterglow in the Sarovar around it. The Sikh come here to their holiest shrine. Today, we come with a prayer for a new India. May its golden jubilee herald an era that enlightens as much as the chants emanating from the shrine. The long misty ride into Agra is a perfect platform for a debate on a 5-point agenda. First and foremost, population control. Can progress ever catch up with the increasing population of the country? Environment and sustainable development. How do we preempt environmental problems by living sustainable lives? Agro-industries and entrepreneurship. If 70% of India resides in villages, How can we encourage agro-based industries so that villages are economically prosperous? India and the globe. We must examine what India can give to the world and what it can take. Only then can India integrate in the global village. And finally, a point that affects in some ways all the others, the point about values. What are the values of truth, honesty, integrity, hard work and excellence that will take us into the next century? We arrive in Agra on a bitterly cold and foggy day. The Taj stands majestic as it has done for centuries. Looking at it brings back the confidence that has inspired us to go on this audacious trip. In Delhi, we visit the Presidential Palace. Colonel Shergill, the commandant of the President's bodyguard, welcomes us. A debate is organized on the lawns of the Presidential Palace. Should there be a parliamentary or a presidential form of government? Indeed, for a democracy that is facing challenges never before experienced in the history of our planet, are any of these two viable? These questions find an echo that evening at a seminar hosted at the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. We have the honor of the company of Kiran Bedi, Mark Tully, Dr. Rajendra Pachauri, and Dr. V.S. Raju. They represent diverse sides of Indian public life. We have come far in the last 50 years, but there is so much more to do. It is New Year's Eve, and we resolve to act on these thoughts. We visit the Imam Bara in Lucknow. Mystical in its appearance, silhouetted against the afterglow of the sunset. At the public reception later at KGMC Medical College, the Master of Ceremonies regales us with Urdu poetry. Some of the nuances of these words spoken in Urdu are missed by us. For try as he might, they cannot be translated into English. It would be a pity if we were to lose these languages. India would be very comfortable, but very homogeneous and boring. The next stop is Gaya. We are about to visit the land that inspired Buddha to preach a different gospel. A gospel of truth, non-violence, universal love and brotherhood. A gospel that then spread to the farthest corners of Asia, now holds a large part of Asia in thrall. The Bodhi tree under which Buddha attained salvation is behind the temple. We sit under it in the company of monks from all over the world. Like Buddha, we look for a new direction. In the early part of this century, a young Indian came to the province of Bihar, at the time inhabited by tribesmen. His vision was to tap into the rich natural resources and make steel. From scratch, he built a city that is now regarded in India as the pinnacle of industrial and commercial enterprise. Tatanagar, the city of Tata. The Tata Iron and Steel Works in the evening are a sight to behold. Steel, red as the warmth in our hearts, surging forward to be molded into thin steel rods. It is as if the spirit of Jamshedji himself had taken possession of their inanimate souls. Our common room in the train had become a hotbed of discussion, debate, and occasional merriment. We divide ourselves into subgroups for discussion around the 5-point agenda. The environmental group has chosen to represent the findings as a play. The values group has created a novel tree of perfection. Some of these ideas are wacky, others are pragmatic, but the process of thinking about the future is important. By the time we end the journey, this thinking is summarized in a 40-page document called a manifesto of young India for the future. The tune of Vande Mataram is a constant refrain in the background. We wake up to this call of India every day. We sing it in the day and take solace in its melody. It has the ability to raise us above ourselves, to see the country as one. When we arrive in Calcutta, it is to a place possessed. The museum, the Victoria Memorial, the beautiful performance by the Manipuri troupe of Darshana Jhaveri takes us away from the seething crowds. We stop at Mother Teresa's charity and pay our respects to the saint. The ride to Vishakhapatnam is our longest. Eastern Naval Command has prepared an important visit to see submarines and destroyers. The naval commander, Rear Admiral Kocher, points to the map of India and its eastern seaboard. The magnitude of his task is immense. To defend a third of the length of the country and all the oil-rich resources that lie offshore is a task that is as difficult as it is laudable. This is the eastern coast of India. The enormity of our journey suddenly strikes us. We have crossed the north of India in the past 2 weeks. In the next week, we will again cross over the subcontinent to the western seaboard. 300 people and a train. We fill a small jar with the sands of the Bay of Bengal, wanting to mix it with that of the Arabian Sea. A small gesture of unity in this vast and diverse land. Hyderabad, the Charminar, and Golconda Fort. And we are on our way to Aurangabad. We visit the Ajanta and Ellora caves. These 3rd century caves have inspired hundreds of ascetics to conjure up a new India. We have a similar task. We are hosted by the Bajaj Auto Factory. Madhur Bajaj, the president of Bajaj Auto, presides over our discussions on the 5-point agenda. We are on our way to stay the only day off the train. What better place to do so than a village that has found renown across India as a model of social living, where an ordinary person called Anna Hazare has made extraordinary miracles possible. A village that was in the death throes of drought, alcoholism, and other forms of social evils is now an example of prosperity. Anna's 5-point agenda of reform is not too dissimilar to ours. We leave his village for Mumbai, blessed with the knowledge that with hard work and self-help, anything is possible. We have traveled non-stop for a full 3 weeks. We covered 8,000 kilometers, touching 17 cities and villages in this land of ours. We had seen India only in one dimension. We now know India in all her majesty. We discovered a new India, but more importantly, we discovered a different Indian within ourselves. We cared, but could not do much for this land. This journey over, we want to shape a better country. As we part after the journey, in minds and spirits, we remain together. We remain bound by the faith that each of us will create a better India wherever we are. Vande Mataram.